Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I'm about to do a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for those of us who find ourselves on this channel without any Piscean anything. You're probably an empath and you're probably needing messages from your soul. So I had asked, what is this reading going to be about? And what I was told is that choices are being made. Um, it felt very intense, like a lot of consideration is going into these choices. Um, a lot of thought, a lot of it feels like a very, very serious, very, very life altering type of decision. Um, like things are being left behind, going towards something that's like so uncertain. Uh, it makes me feel intense. It makes me feel intense. I'm kind of just like, I'm at a point where I really just want people to feel happy. You know what I mean? I really just want people to feel happy with the decisions they're making. And it feels like eventually whatever this decision is will lead to happiness. Um, but it also feels like whatever this decision is, it's first gonna hurt so bad. Like so bad. You know what I mean? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's something that's going to hurt really badly. Probably because it's something that, I don't know, something that goes against what you thought was going to be for you. Let's just, oopsie. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my God. Okay, hold up. I gotta reshuffle this. Michael says I'm cheating. Michael said I was cheating. Okay. I won't. Whatever. Let me just shuffle it. He says to show you guys. Okay, I'm shuffling, right? Okay. He says to look directly at the camera so I can't see what I'm doing. I'm card reading. Why? He goes, I can tell. So I have this little quirk where, like, if I do it card by card, I can read what the card is. And if I pull enough because of the generated energy, I can tell what's the next card. Whatever. That's not actually cheating. He says to always show you guys I'm just pulling from the top. Anyways. Okay, I shuffled. He says to look at the camera, pull from the top and set it down. What? This deck. I'm only going to pull from 3 decks because Michael is too much today. Anyways. Okay. He says don't even look at the deck. It says, pull from the center. Don't look. Whatever. Whatever. Anyways, I don't like your accusations, bruh. I don't like your accusations. Anyways, all right. Imagination, air, imagination. So this is telling me like everything is up in the air right now, right? And there's this potentiality that your thoughts are really going bonkers. Like you are really, really going above and beyond with the negative thoughts. Like worst case scenario amplified. That's like what you're thinking of. Worst case scenario amplified. Is it ever really truly worst case scenario? Like the worst case scenario that you're thinking of. I mean, things can get really ugly. Yeah, it can. Things can get ugly. Things have maybe at some point, at some time, maybe they have gotten ugly for you. And maybe these are the things that cause you to feel like, oh my God, it's going to get ugly again. I mean, is it really ugly or is it just not what you wanted? You know what I mean? Is it going to be harder than what you wanted to deal with? Was it this thing of you thought you already had it made? You thought everything was kind of lining up perfectly. And then, I mean, were you like sideswiped or okay, so this I can't believe I'm sharing this. Yesterday I went to the bookstore, right? I totally have balance issues. And sometimes when the energy shifts, it shifts something in my inner ear and everything gets skewed. Like literally it gets skewed. And so that happened while I was in the bookstore and I was I was walking down an aisle. And then next thing you know, I was walking into the bookshelf that didn't even register, but I knew it was there, but it didn't register that I was walking towards the bookshelf. And I nearly took out the whole shelf. I nearly took out the whole shelf. But see, that's the thing. Like when things get shifted and we're not taking into consideration the shifts that have occurred, we're going to run into things. We're going to definitely run into things. And is it going to help you? I mean, did it help me to be like, no, I'm not walking crooked? Because that's what I was thinking. Like, what is this? And then next thing you know, I was in the bookshelf, like in the bookshelf. I was in the bookshelf. Had I just paused for a second, like, okay, it's something shifting in my inner ear, I wouldn't have walked into the bookshelf. But because I was so hyper focused on what the end goal was, which is getting to a specific subject matter that was literally right in front of me, um, I did not want to stop. I was focused. Have you been so hyper fixated on what you think the end goal actually is that you're not paying attention to the way you're traveling that path? Are we allowing our imagination to go wild with what we think is going to happen? Because as it began to register in my right eye, that for some reason the bookshelf is starting to look closer and closer. Um, I totally was just like, no, my eyes just zooming into something because sometimes my eyes do that. They zoom in. I'm just weird like that. I don't function like a regular human. But because right when my shoulder made contact with the bookshelf, that's when my brain was like, girlfriend, something's not right, girl. Something's not right. Stop walking. Had I kept walking, I would have, at the very least, emptied that shelf level of books because they were kids' books. But my worst case scenario brain totally was like, oh my God, the whole shelf is going to either fall on you or you're going to overreact and you're going to tip it over the other side and it's going to fall on the children on the other side. Pretty sure those shelves are anchored. I'm pretty sure of it. for like liability's sake, I'm pretty sure they're not going to leave that easily tipped over. Like, especially in the children's section. Are you kidding me? They're not going to do that. But then next thing you know, I was freaked out like, oh my God, I could have totally hurt a whole bunch of people. Could I have really? Could I have really? No. I could have possibly made a big mess. But tip over an entire bookshelf that I'm only up to like it's taller than me, okay? Like I can't there's no way I'm going to knock that over full of books. And then there's another bookshelf behind it holding it up. There's just no way. But when we start thinking in terms of worst case scenario for everything, it stresses you out unnecessarily. Next thing you know, I did get to the end of that aisle that I was trying to get to workbooks, and I was dizzy. I was like overheated because I just stressed myself out. For what though? How did that help me? It didn't. It didn't. When you pay attention to the way you walk your path and you pay attention to what's placed in front of your path, when you take into account the shifting that occurs as you're walking, that's powerful. Sometimes I do that. Yesterday I didn't. Sometimes I do that. Yesterday I didn't. Actually, have you guys been noticing that as well? Because I've been running into walls a lot lately. Um, almost like this, like my field of vision has been skewed. Like it's skewed. You know what I mean? Um, there's a lot of shifting that's going on in the world, like your pathway, whatever divine pathway you thought, or maybe at one point you became aware of that pathway. It's been being shifted in maybe the past 5 to 7 days. It's been being shifted. I've been finding myself needing to pause more and more and be like, okay, that shift is done. You know? Yeah, but not fully dizzy, kind of just like um almost like a miscommunication between my eyes and my inner ear, because then that's what would cause the shifting. I know I don't have anything wrong with my brain. I know I don't have anything wrong. Well, my eyes have always just been weird. But it's just this weird thing that keeps going on, like a shifting in direction. Okay. There are things that are being spoken into being. There are situations, there are experiences that are being spoken into being. And we have to take into account these unknown variables. Okay. They're unknown variables. Just because there's unknown variables does not mean you have to be crippled by your indecision. You don't have to. Yeah, altered depth perception. Mhm. Yep. And then I've been seeing things like my ceiling shifting, like walls will go wobbly for a second and just like, yeah, not today, not right now, not today, not right now. You know? And those are things that usually occur when there's a large merger that's taking place, like a large merger of not just timelines, but alternate realities. They're just merging together. Part of the period that we're in right now is about taking all of these varying lines of potentials and kind of smushing them back together. So there that whole like Big Bang theory where creator had this like aha moment of asking itself a question, right? And then there was this explosion. Everything kind of expanded and continued expanding. And we've reached the outermost expansion that we're supposed to have with that one potentiality. So we're shrinking back, we're coming back together. And in order to do that, all the striations, all the teased off portions um, are needing to remerge. So it's not a collapse of a timeline, it's the merger of them. So let's just think on that. That's what this whole awakening is. You're becoming aware of that macro or micro merger point where in the micro, your personal life, all of these things that you had pushed away, these potentialities, um, connections with others, and sorts of different stuff, they're being brought back. This is not necessarily that you're gonna have a second go at a failed romance. This is all about whatever was supposed to be is now being brought back, kind of like a yo-yo. That little tug brings the yo-yo back. Um, so it's that awakening has to do with you becoming more aware of what's going on in your life. Um, the unnecessary is being shed away. Once necessary, but it is no longer necessary, usually karmic connections, those are also being shed away. And just because it's a karmic connection does not mean you're going to be celebrating um, the departure of this. 88% at 8:35. That's eights all the way through. Um, you're not necessarily going to be celebrating the departure, the ending of whatever this is. It's for many of us, this is probably something that's been a part of your life for quite a few years. Okay, this is something that has given you a sense of self, um, as you were going through this for some time, and with this being shed, that's a huge, huge sense of loss. Not all change can be experienced as something good. Sometimes it's experienced as something really, really traumatic. My eyes were feeling unfocused at times, and I thought it was my third eye opening because it was like I could see but couldn't see objects in front of me. Ooh. Sorry. That sounds like first, what's the hormone? Relaxin? Something like that. Prolaxin or something, I forget. But, you just had a baby, so with that, there's a lot of that hormone still running through your body. And then what ends up happening is if you have a frequency spike, the channel that's used instead of that pathway that's the optic nerve, there's a piggybacking channel on it that's an etheric optic pathway. So it's like and then you're like, it's in front of me, no it's not. It's in front of me, no it's not. It's like you're alternating between the etheric system and the physical, the physiological. So but if you guys experience these types of things and it worries you, go see the doctor, make sure everything's okay. I've seen the doctor many times over things like this. They all think I'm crazy. My ophthalmologist said human eyes can't zoom in. They can't, but mine do. It's like, no, they don't do that. But literally mine do. He's like, and I see that over there. And I told him what it was. And he's like, that's an anomaly. Okay, well, mine do. I'm not crazy. Mine actually do weird shit. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Mine just do weird shit. They've always done weird things. So, ooh, the boundaries in reverse. Yours do that too? See, I know I'm not the only one. It zooms in like a camera. I don't know how I do it. My eyes just do weird shit. If I hyperfixate on something, it literally zooms it in. I don't know how to do it though. Okay, so boundaries are in reverse. Okay. Instead of you establishing healthier things for yourself, you weren't. It was less and less about what was healthy for you, more and more about what someone else wanted. And I think this is a period where you're going through that like recognition of what needs to be corrected in your life. You know what I mean? So it's no longer a secret. I think you probably, for whoever this is going to resonate with, you probably already spoke your truth and like were vocal. Like you really just, yeah. No, 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 no. Now it's making me sad. Um, mm, This was hard to say. This was really, really hard to say. It was hard to admit to yourself, like, it's almost like this sense of you were made to feel as though you're just so selfish, like you don't get it, but you do. You get it. Like you actually get it. Um, but they don't want to understand. They don't want to understand. They want to live what they want to live. And the reality they live in does not take into consideration the effects of their desires on you. Was that a part? Oh, that was cute. um, and it's not even the desires though. It's more like the insecurities. Whoever this is that you are dealing with, or maybe are still dealing with, they're such an insecure person. I can't deal with that. Like that level of insecurity where you can't even really have your own privacy. Mm-mm. But it looks like you had whatever was on your chest, you said it. You said it already, and it's just, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. Um, oh no. Let's see how this plays out before I say anything. Let's see how this plays out before I say anything at all. Oh no. Yikes. 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 Okay. So you have that secret involved a lady goddess, feminine energy. And maybe for some, you are that lady goddess and you just had to step into that place of personal power. And now that you've done that, the secret's out of the bag. For others, this might have to do with a female goddess type energy that has just really, really, it almost seems like a fixation, fixated on this energy. This maybe specific person. Um, okay. I was going to change the subject because it's a weird feeling. And Michael goes, stay focused. Stay focused. DM, you just all up in my ass today, dude. Just relax. Take a step back. Or step forward. Step forward. Hey, he says if he takes a step back, then Cody's mom will come forward. Just sit in my lap, Michael. Everybody, leave me alone today. Oh my God. That's just yeller too much. All right, so there's this like coldness in your life at this point, right? Like an emotional winter type thing. And it's reducing the intensification of that, like that tension. So maybe you've kind of retreated back into your own space. Maybe you're staying somewhere else. Maybe, I don't know. It's a weird feeling of like no longer being immersed in whatever that environment is. Maybe you quit your job, maybe you're no longer friends, maybe something. I don't know. Something. But it's lessening that feeling of like being overwhelmed, being just totally harassed. Oh, be careful with that. I just suddenly I wish she told me her name. She says they're just playing this game with you. They're playing the game of like making you feel like you have the space and the boundaries are being respected when in reality they're just, she says, waiting for you to finish your tantrum. They think it's a tantrum. well, dismissive much. Someone thinks you're just having a tantrum. I have a hold on. Mike had me say something about this. Um, okay. When you realize that during your upbringing, your emotional turmoil was often dismissed as theatrics, which in turn has rendered you incapable of fully expressing your feelings for fear of being belittled, making suffering in silence the main theme of your adult years. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Over explaining can be a trauma response to being gaslit in childhood. When I figured that out, I worked to stop doing so. If I already told the truth and was clear, there's nothing else to say, and over explaining leads to distortions off of that nonsense. Ah, so I guess this is a thing of like your childhood traumas are playing out as an adult, and the people who you are dealing with right now are helping to trigger these, cause these traumas to come front and center. Now, we still have to hold people accountable for the way they're treating us. They're not there like, "You know what? I'm gonna do you a favor and trigger you today so you can finally deal with the traumas that need to be dealt with." No, they're just being assholes. Okay? Okay. When you get through this period, it's because you chose to. It's because you are strong. They're still an asshole. They're still selfish. I love I love, in the most sarcastic sense possible. I love when people think that they've somehow helped you by traumatizing you. Yeah? Yeah? You helped me to grow because you traumatized me? Don't ever feel bad for making a decision about your own life that upsets other people. You're not responsible for their happiness. You're responsible for your own happiness. Anyone who wants you to live in misery for their happiness should not be in your life to begin with. They really shouldn't. They really shouldn't. There's another thing that I saved before my laptop just crapped out yesterday. Let me find it. Let me find it. Let's see. Hmm. Let's see. Where is it? Um, this one was funny. It's a picture of Beetlejuice. And it says, "Hey, I like your personality." And Beetlejuice answers, "Thanks, it's a disorder." Oh, here it is. I don't know who needs to hear this, but accusations from a narcissist are confessions. Um, that I need to read that again. I don't know who needs to hear this, but accusations from a narcissist are confessions. When they tell you that you're being selfish, it's usually to get you to stop being so difficult when they ask you to do something the first time. Just do what I say the first time. I won't have to keep asking you. You're being so selfish. How about you stop asking me to disrespect my sovereign right to exist in peace with no chaos from you and your bullshit? How about that? I'm suddenly really angry. I'm suddenly really angry. That heart is still there. Let's swirl it around. That heart is still there. I'm not in the mood for love right now. Shake it up. Shake it up. You need to go through this rebirth. It's going to be messy. It's Whew. Birth is typically messy. It's probably going to involve getting kind of dirty. But you got to go through this. You got to go through this. You got to let go of whatever's no longer serving you. Whatever is not promoting your growth is actually hindering your process. That includes the people who claim to love you, but refuse to allow you to grow. It's time to let that go. It's time to let that go. I mean, why hold on to it? You think that if you carry it long enough, it's what's going to happen with it? I mean, haven't you carried it this long? Has what you were thinking come to fruition? When I used to work as a photographer and post-production editor, because sometimes I would get paid to edit other photographers' work so that they could submit it for publication. And there were several times where I totally was just like, this is a piece of shit. This is a polished turd is still a turd. You can bronze dip that. It's going to be bronze dip turd. You can buff it out real shiny. It's still going to be a turd at the end of the day. At the end of the day, a turd is a turd is a turd. It sure is. And then when you go and you dip it in like these precious metals and you polish it, I mean, it doesn't necessarily make it more valuable. As a matter of fact, that turd could have been allowed to degrade and be used as like a soil enhancer. You can't do that now. You can't do that now because now it's like encased in fakery. Mm-hmm. Fakery. You know what word sounds like fakery? Fuckery. When you try and polish something that I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. Let's see what the other cards have to say. Let's see how upset can Emmie for no fucking reason. Okay, move on. Balance in reverse. Um, there's no balance. I don't know that you're ever going to get balance. When a strong person is paired with someone who is weak, there will always be tension. There will always be this overgiving, overtaking. It's not balanced. You're going to spend so much time and energy trying to balance something that just does not balance. It doesn't balance. It doesn't. It doesn't. You can put all that time and energy into that. That's up to you. That's fine with me. But if I don't feel like you're my equal, and I don't think I'm better than people, I know I'm different, but you don't have to be like me. But if you can't be solid in who you are, and your sense of peace requires me diminishing myself, I can't live like that anymore. I can't live like that anymore. I was willing to for much of my life. I can't live like that anymore. I make you feel insecure. Too fucking bad. Walk away from me. It's not a loss to me. It's not a loss to me. You know why I can say this now? Because my peace is so precious to me at this point. It is invaluable. It's valuable. It's important, god damn it. My peace is more important than your feelings. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. You needed to hear it. My peace is more important to me than your feelings. Because if I've lived over 40 years catering to everyone else, I shouldn't have any apologies for finally beginning to consider me as well. I'm not asking you to suffer to be around me. I'm asking you to set yourself free so that you no longer suffer because you're around me. If I make you feel insecure, I would love for you to handle that somewhere else. Because I can't play that role of like, no, see, look, No, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. No, I'm not willing to. I am not willing to. I've lived enough of my life doing that, and it's never ended well. Every single time that I have done that I've gone out of my way to lift someone else up so they can understand you're my equal. I see you as my equal. They don't believe that. So, you know what they do? They take their little hatchet, this little hobbit ass axe. It's a little hatchet. And they try and go for my ankles to chop me down to the size they believe they exist at. That is not my job anymore. I once upon a time volunteered for that position. Yeah, no, I put in my resignation notice about a year ago. The last time someone tried to do that. You know, it is a hobbit hatchet. Chidi, just hear the words, hear the essence of what I'm saying. That's like angry hobbit behavior. Hobbits are not supposed to be angry. Did you see when Samwise Gamgee got angry? It was because they were trying to kill Frodo. Frodo is his friend. The only time Frodo got angry was because he was possessed by the ring at that point. He was fighting with Smeagol. I don't want to be a Smeagol. I don't want to be a possessed Frodo. I want to be a Samwise Gamgee. Must be why I'm always hungry. That's fine. I have no shame in my Hobbit game. What? I'm the tallest one in the Hobbit village. Fuck that shit. You think I'm joking? At my height, I should not have like a size 9.5 foot. I'm just saying, I'll fuck shit up with my feet. I'm just saying. Sam is the true hero of the story. He is. He is. He was just chilling. He was just chilling. Then he got accused of eating all the lambus bread. He don't even like elven food. It has no flavor. Sam was about the seasoning, and there was no seasoning in the lambus bread. Okay, let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop. Mm-hmm. Card number 40, Sacred Fool. You're the only one holding the strings, okay? There's people in your life, or maybe a person in your life, who wants you to volunteer to give them your strings. No, bitches. No, don't give them your strings. Contain yourself. Contain yourself. You need to begin processing the insecurities that make you feel like you're only valuable and you only have a sense of self when there's someone else around. Now, I want to make clear some people want to be in the presence of another person so they can enjoy life with other people. You know what I mean? Like just for company. It has nothing to do with insecurities and a fear of being alone. I'm talking specifically about the people who are so afraid to be alone that they would leech onto you. You know what leeches do? They bore a hole into your skin, and their spit is an anticoagulant. That means it will never heal. That means it will not develop a scab or anything like that. They can continue to suck you dry. Does that give you a better understanding of when someone is a leech in your life? You can't establish boundaries. The blood will not clot. That clot is the boundary line. When their saliva is an anticoagulant, it will not allow it to clot. The words that come out of their mouth, although it's very juicy and wet, it will not allow for your healing. So, what's the solution? These type of people, if you put them in a jar like they do for medicinal leeches, medical use leeches, you know what they do? They cry to other people about how you put them in a jar and you're so controlling and you just love them and they just love you and they want to make you happy and they don't understand why you keep pushing them away because you're a fucking leech, yo. That's why. You're a leech. That's why. That's why you got put in the jar. So then what's the solution? If you have no need for a leech, you have no need for a leech. Do not keep leeches in your life. Sometimes when we suffer a traumatic injury and we've gone through that reconstructive surgery, part of how we go ahead and ensure those partially severed limbs that were, appendages that were reattached, part of the way we ensure that that reattached part continues to have a healthy blood supply and we increase the potentiality of the viability of that reattached appendage is by using leeches. Does that mean you have to live with a leech forever? No. Sometimes when we are traumatically injured and we are going through the process of reconstructing ourselves, might be good to have that type of person around because they keep you company or whatever. It's not about using people. It's about allowing people to be who they are in your presence. Letting a leechy person be a leechy person when you need a leech in your life to keep the energy flowing. Sometimes, okay, I get it. But when that injury is healed, do you need to keep letting that leech feed off of you? No, no. It's about discerning where you are within your life. It's about recognizing that sometimes your life brings you to people or brings people to you that are necessary for that cycle that you're in. And as they cycle in, they eventually will cycle out. A solid foundation from which you are building something. When they cycle in, they will probably eventually cycle back out. And that's it. You know what I realized about me and the very few friends that I have? There's no cycles. There, we just coexist. There's no cycles. There's no cycles. They just arrived in my life and they're there. There was no cycles. There was no cycling in and then cycling out and then cycling in and then cycle. No, they're just literally there. They are fixtures in my life. And that's that. It doesn't matter how long you've known someone. It doesn't. Did you know that when you have a truly heart-based, soul depth connection with a person, you guys can become fast friends like within a few days? And you can remain friends for the rest of your life? And then there's people who you've had in your life since you were in kindergarten, second grade, high school, whatever it is. And I mean, they're there because they've seen you go through so much and it's kind of like a lifeline because they've seen you go through so much, but you don't really have anything in common. You don't have, it's kind of like, yeah, we like the same music, but the soul, what's up with the soul? You guys vibe it? Do you see eye to eye, like eye to eye? Do you see eye to eye? Do you have resonance? But no, I've known them for so long. You can keep knowing them, but you have to know their place in your life. And if you've known them for so long and it's continuously cycling in and cycling out and cycling in and cycling out, just like a spin cycle. You've probably seen them go through so much in life. And because you're a very loving person, you see everything they've suffered through the eyes of compassion, or so you thought. I'm almost wondering if you see them in such a way that enables their behaviors, that it's not compassion, it's enablement. Have you ever taken a step back to take a good hard look at the cycles they're in and how they probably are the one that established those cycles? But because you love them, you think, "Oh no, just people keep doing wrong to them. They're a good person." You know what, y'all? I'm a good person too. People kept doing wrong to me for a while. And the thing is, I finally actually paused and looked like, what is it about me? I don't understand. Like, all I want to do is help people and support people. Why do they always end up like this? And then I realized, girl, your contribution to this is you love people in a way that they are incapable of receiving. And because you love them so thoroughly, you overlook this intentionally. And because you overlook this inability to receive that type of love in the way that they should be receiving it, which it's just with gratitude, like, thank you for loving me, it becomes a sense of entitlement. This is how you are recreating this type of toxic fucking shit every single time. And then I had to pause and be like, okay, well, that makes sense. Why do I do this? Well, girl, because you're insecure. I'm insecure. Yes, all of us have insecurities. Hello. 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 We all have insecurities. And so I had to dive deep into my insecurities. Like, what is it? What is my insecurity? Because I mean, okay, I'm a woman. I don't feel like I have to be any specific size. I don't feel like my face has to look any specific way. I don't feel like my fashion sense has to be any specific thing. What is it? What's my insecurity? Oh, succeeding alone, because then I have no one to hide behind. I have no one to project my success onto. And if I have no one to project my success onto, then the world must recognize me and see me as a successful person. Well, what's wrong with that? Well, had to pause and think. What's wrong with being successful? Well, because if I'm not successful as a medical professional, then it's not a valid success. And if it's not a valid success, then I'm not a valid person. And if I believe I'm not a valid person, then eventually at some point, these people who are witnessing me, because I have nowhere to hide now, they're going to understand at some point I'm fake. So all of that, does it even have to do with anyone else? No, none of that has to do with anyone else. It is this, remember what I was saying, imagination. We taken it to worst case scenarios. I am the least fake person I know. I'm literally the least fake person I know, to the point where it's embarrassing. To the point where it's embarrassing. For the most part, I keep my mouth shut while I'm out in public. But if you're going to be running your mouth and I finally had it, I'm just going to look you in the eyes and be like, you're such a fucking bitch, aren't you? What crawled up your hoo ha and died? I literally would. And you'd be like, "Oh my god, what did you say to me?" Clean out your fucking ears so maybe you can hear the way you affect other people. I totally would speak my truth. Your family must not like you. You must be horrendous to be around. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you, woman? And I've said similar things to people in public. Like, I can only take so much before I start speaking truth to you. I can only take so much. So if I can live like that, if I can live as authentic as I actually choose to live, to the point where I've had to do the work for myself to release the fear of people might not like me. Well, girl, people didn't like you either when you were extra nice, right? So let them not like you for being you instead of being easily, taken advantage of, and being taken advantage of if you're volunteering. Because volunteer. for people to treat us poorly. I'm not saying it's your fault. Well, I mean, if you still need to live in that blame game, it probably would be your fault then. I don't feel like we have to blame anyone or anything. I feel like we need to take the time and energy we would have used to identify who we're going to blame and, all of that energy, and instead use it to understand what we're trying to learn with this situation, what our soul is bringing us to this period, this experience for. I don't play that blame game stuff. Mm-mm. There's no point. Okay, so now you've blamed someone, right? Now what? Well, I got to tell everyone else. So that way, okay. You're going to tell them what you did too? You're going to tell them you're part? Well, no, I'm the victim here. Tell me more about how you're the victim. Tell me more. What else happened? You're the victim. People are doing you wrong. You're just a good person. You don't understand why people are always like this to you. Tell me more. Yeah. It sounds yucky, right? It sounds yucky when someone can remove all the emotion from it and simply reiterate the things you've been saying to yourself. It sounds very like, ew, who does that? Many of us do. To ourselves. To ourselves. Many empaths, and especially Pisceans, we blame ourselves for everything that goes wrong. Blame ourselves. I just got to take a deep breath off of that. I gotta take a deep breath because yeah, yikes, that's ugly. That's super ugly. There are things that happen to other people and I'm not even involved in it. I for sure will fucking find a way to be like, oh my God, it's my fault. If I had just blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, I should have blah, 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 blah. Holy shit, it's my fault. It's my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. When people make decisions for themselves, they make decisions for themselves. So I was just thinking about this the other day. Been frustrated about certain work things, and it's kind of like, I don't get why people don't listen. Like if I'm telling you something, it has to do with parasitic stuff, and I'm telling you something, there's a reason I'm telling you this something. If you see that I don't like to tell other people how to live, what to think, how to perceive, and I keep telling you about this something, it's because really fucked up shit's about to happen because of that something. And if you don't do something about it, like, hello, welcome to the Emmie Evolving channel. I'm really irritated. I'm really irritated off of it. I am. It frustrates me to no end, because then what happens is people wait until it goes beyond the certain point that I'm trying to prevent it from going beyond. And then it's a cluster fluff and it's like, oh, Emmie will fix it. Huh, Emmie's not capable of fixing that. Like at this point, I'm not. What am I going to do? Well, what can I do for that? And it's not even about like, oh, you need to book a session. I'm not going to do it. No, it's not. There's no session to book. I can't fix that. And it frustrates me as someone who doesn't like to see people suffer unnecessarily. And I can clearly see where this is headed. I can clearly see where this is headed. And I can't be like, listen, you're about to get fucked up, irreparably fucked up. I can't say that, because then it's like, oh, you're such a fearmonger. So if I can't say that and I've already told you the gist of like, hey, this is a situation, you kind of need to do something about it. And then you let it continue and you only do something after that's already fully rooted. Do I need to feel bad? Do I need to blame myself? No, because I already did what I could. I informed to the best of my ability, and then I allow you to exercise your sovereign right to choose the path you walk. Yeah. And then that's that. That's that. There's nothing that I can do to control other people that would be okay with me. Because if I controlled you and I was able to successfully avoid that for you, then I would feel bad because then I'm controlling your life. So it's a lose, lose, lose type of loss. So, what's the best way to deal with that? To just let people live their life and let them harvest whatever fruits they allowed to grow. I don't think anyone wants to be breached, Moonrock. I really don't. I don't think anyone wants to be breached. I think what happens is people live in a state of avoidance and they think that if they just avoid it, if they just ignore it for long enough, it'll go away. I promise you, it doesn't go away, it compounds. What happens with a parasitic breaching is, depending on the type of frequency that you have, when you have an anchor point, that anchor point is radiating a frequency, energetic frequency signature that is foreign to your body. It's basically like low grade etheric radiation. We all know what radiation does, right? We all know what radiation does. It's like a radiation because it's altering the form and function of that etheric genetic code. Eventually, if that sits there long enough, if the radiation, etheric radiation, is strong enough and concentrated enough, it permeates into the density of your physiological flesh. That means it alters your DNA expression in the cells. Someone once told me like, "Hey, Emmy, you scanned me like 2 years ago, and I just wanted to reach out and let you know you were 100% correct. You told me that I had a parasite in this part of my body, and I was already feeling something, and last week I just got my diagnosis that I have cancer in that area." That does not make me feel fucking validated. That doesn't make me feel good. I'm not suddenly like, fuck yes, I knew it. Like, no, that I read that and I'm like, okay, thank you. Okay. Yeah. Doesn't make me feel good. Doesn't make me feel powerful or accurate or any of that at all. It does not make me feel good at all. It actually makes me feel quite the opposite. I could have removed that. I could have removed that. I could have corrected the distorted code expressions. I could have interfered to the degree that it would not permeate into the density of your physiological flesh. I could have, but I didn't. And then comes this question of, well, I should have just done it. That's a violation of sovereign right. That's a violation of sovereignty. And then comes this whole thing of, well, Emmy, if you know better and they don't know any better. Can a doctor remove your breast? You're in there for appendicitis. Doctor sees a lump. You're already under anesthesia. Let's just go ahead and remove your breast. You can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. That's a gross misuse of power. You're not allowed to do any of that. You're only allowed to do what was discussed, what you were given prior authorization to do. People's lives are their sacred temples. And it's this thing now where I'm really coming to terms with the reality of I have to respect people's decisions to pollute their temples or not. I have to respect that. I have to honor that. And I have to just keep my mouth shut. I mean, would it have helped if I communicated things in a more aggressive manner? Because when I do that, then people just shut down. They're like, you're just like, stop, you're scaring me. Okay, well, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to just honor people and what they choose for themselves. Enjoy them for as long as they're in your life, as long as they're a part of your journey. And then when the paths diverge, then they diverge, and then your life continues on. And life kind of just is what it is. And some people might say, that's so pessimistic. Oh my God, that is so, so loud. That's so pessimistic. And that's just so negative. Okay. So if I were to control someone else's life, what would that be to you? What would that be to you? If you know someone's hurting Emmie, you need to speak up. Okay, but I did. So then comes this thing of you need to make a decision. You have to just decide and stick with it. It comes to your relationships, your friendships, work partnerships, your career, living situation, all of that. Like, you have to make a decision and stick with it. I struggle with that because it's sometimes people I genuinely love and have proven in the past they can choose to not victimize themselves. Yeah, I totally agree. And it's like when you come from a place of love, you have to make sure your love does not become the very shackles that you're trying to remove just because the shackles are held by someone else. Doesn't make it any more or less than the shackle of you trying to force what you see as truth on the person that you love. It's a very, very slippery slope. Very, very slippery slope. So I've just learned to be like, your decision is your decision. If I feel like it's really important, then I'll vocalize my thoughts. And then at the end of the day, it's still your choice. It's still your choice. And I mean, this is how I've approached my brother's heart condition. This is how I approached the care for my mother. Like, yeah, I have to respect what you decide. I have to. I have to love in a way that sets both of us free. Not just because I'm pushing you away to protect myself, but because I'm giving you the space to decide before I decide what I'm going to do. And if you're going to choose something that will hurt me as I witness you living through it, I'm going to love you in silence from afar. I'm going to love you very silently. And I hope in that silence, part of you still feels how much I actually still love you. But I'm not going to be there to see it. That's too much for me. And it's about recognizing what's too much for you. Recognizing that, if you've reached a point where your presence there is too painful, not just because it triggers your insecurities, your childhood traumas, but also because as an empath, it hurts you to see this person hurting all the time. Even though it's their insecurities and they're projecting it on you, it still hurts you. Then it's time to just go. It's really time to just go. There's going to be things that you can't control as much as you want to. You won't be able to control it. You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to interfere in that way. And you're going to have to just be okay with that. A lot of it has to do with other people and their lives. After a certain point, I won't have a say in my children's lives. They'll be adults. They'll be adults. When my oldest son is traveling for his work stuff, my husband will totally be like, I miss our son. I want him home. I'm like, don't bother him. Don't bother him. Don't make him feel bad for living his own life. I miss him too, but don't bother him. They're BFFs, so they talk every day. And I'm over here like, oh God, I gotta wait another day or two. I'll text him later. I don't want to bother him. He might be in the studio or something. I don't want to keep texting him. And then the artists that he works with are gonna be like, who's texting you? And then he's gonna be like, oh, it's my mom. Oh my God. I don't want to embarrass him. But I do. I'm always like, I hope he feels me. I hope he feels me. I hope he texts me in a few minutes. I know it's crazy. People are probably like, just fucking text him. No. But and usually when I'm like, oh my God, I miss him so much. I hope he texts me. He'll text me. My husband, though, he'd be like, I talked to him already. Oh, let me text him this. Oh, let me send him. I'm just like, leave him the fuck alone. He's working. He's traveling. My husband don't give a shit. He's like, no, he's my kid. Okay. Luckily, our son is super gracious. He'll answer the phone. If he hears it, he'll answer it. But yeah, no, I'm like, quit bugging him. Yeah. But it's a nice balance, right? Because we're so polar opposite, it's a nice balance where Frey's constantly texting and I'm over here just like, please, 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 just text me. I hope you take a break and call me. Oh my God, why am I like that? I should just call him. Okay. I'll work through it. I'll work through it. Card number 22, she feels she knows. Oh, Lord. So you already feel, you already know. Whoever you're dealing with, they already feel it too. They feel the change in you. It might be family, it might be a friend, it might be romantic. They feel the change in you. They feel that change in you. Now you don't got to feel like you're the one that, wrecked them. There's a potentiality they were already wrecked. They were already a wreck to begin with. Okay, that's mean as fuck to say, but that's the reality of it. So many of us live a life where we are wrecked from the inside out and we just gloss that shit over. We gloss it over and pretend like we're okay when we're not. And then we leave the people who actually genuinely care about us feeling like they're the ones that wrecked us. No, baby, but I was already broken before you arrived. Don't worry. I promise I was already broken before you arrived. You didn't break anything any worse than it was already broken. But then you'll come across people who don't want to acknowledge how broken they've been to begin with. And then they have now assigned you as the fixer, the repairer, the savior. And if you don't do it the way they want you to do it, which is really just cycles, then now you're the bad guy. Anyone who needs you to feel like you're the bad guy is actually the bad guy. No joke. Anyone who needs you to feel like you are the bad guy is actually the bad guy. And it could be like, oh no, Emmie, I really am the bad guy because I cheated on her. Like, okay, so first off, this is my logic on cheating. Someone who cheats is either one, was never invested in the relationship, or two, the relationship has been broken for some time now and they're seeking validation, nurturing, comfort, and love from somewhere else because they're too afraid to let go of what's already there. Um so you're the bad guy because because you were seeking validation from somewhere else. How about let's remove that whole bad guy concept? Let's take a really good hard look at what's been going on. You guys have been disconnected for some time now. Now, I'm not saying I agree with your behavior. I mean, you probably should have just ended that relationship so that you can heal yourself before moving forward with someone else. You know, that was a bit of a dickish move, but are you a bad guy? Or have you been trapped into this cycle of like, if you leave me, you're a bad guy? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, what's actually really going on here? Now, there are some people who cheat just because they have no sense of loyalty to anyone and they like to sabotage and hurt people and, you know, um and if that's the case, if that's who you're with and that's how they've treated you, I mean, I'm pretty sure by the time you're here in this video, they've done this several times to you already. At which point, like, are they the bad guy or do you like that? Is there a part of you that actually subconsciously likes that because you feel like you deserve to be punished, degraded, and, you know, we need to address that. Instead of putting that focus in this whole concept of good guy, bad guy, why don't we address the wounds that are causing you to look for that, to accept that as okay behavior? That's why I don't subscribe to the concept of I'm a victim, oh, I'm a bad guy. No. Go beyond that like human limited perception of good and bad, good versus evil, and really begin addressing the wounds that have affected your ability to make decisions that are healthy for you, to choose the options that are healthy for you. It's not about me taking anyone's side. It's about me trying to ask you to understand yourself so that you don't have to repeat whatever this is. You don't have to repeat these things. And you will continue to repeat them so long as you continue to choose the same options. And you know what? You can be like, oh no, I choose a different option. I'm in a new relationship now. Okay, but it's the same type of person. If it's the same type of person, you're going to have the same type of result. You just are. No, no, he's spiritual this time. Okay, but you're drawn to narcissistic people. Is it now just a spiritual narcissist? A narcissist is a narcissist is a narcissist. The most recent narcissist that I had interaction with was talking about, oh, the most supreme energy in this world is love. You're incapable of love, you dick. You're incapable of love, you dick. I read that shit. I was like, I think this person is a narcissist. What the fuck? This came out of left field. And then I thought about it, the history that I've known of them, because I've known them for quite some time. Yeah, no, I was already wondering that a few years back. I was already wondering if they were, you know, a little bit narky. Several years ago. And that was just the comment, like, this dick. Fucking A. You got me, bruh. You got me. You fucking you tagged my ass in so that I can ooh, bitch, you good. Yeah, no, narcissists, they can be spiritual. He got me good though. He got me good. I mean, like I think I need your help because so and so has a parasite. Oh no. Oh no, let me help. And then the fuck? Got me good. Got me good. When you go quiet and you just observe people for, long enough, I promise you they'll show you how accurate you actually are. You'll see it. You'll see it play out without you prodding anything along. You'll totally see it play out. You'll get the confirmation you need. Yeah. Poor choices and behavior stem from pain in so many instances. They do. They do. And if you're an angry person, what is anger but unrecognized grief? A grief that sat ignored for so long that it's turned into anger so that you could finally see, hear, acknowledge it. Yeah. Yeah. Anger is grief expressed in a passionate way. You're an angry person. What are you grieving? Are you grieving life? Are you grieving loss? Are you grieving the collective whole? Grief is expressed in so many different ways. Anger is the final stage where your body, your soul, everything about you can no longer tolerate the amount of grief that you have stored, and now it refuses to be ignored. And so now you're angry. You're angry. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means you're still capable of feeling. Despite all your efforts to force yourself not to feel, you still are capable of feeling. And that's powerful. Make a choice to do something with that anger. Anger is some of the most potent fuel for change. There's this quote, I believe it's from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Right is the language of the unheard. It's the language of the unheard. When I spoke your language and you refused to hear, I'll find another way to communicate. And if you don't hear me when I speak in soft, hushed tones, I'm going to need to elevate. I'm going to need to elevate that. I'm going to need to escalate that. But here's the thing. Are we giving people too much power when we allow them to trigger our anger? Because for some situations, I do need to get angry so you can hear me. For other situations, it's like, I don't need to explain shit to you. Mm-mm. No, I just don't. Because what's it going to do? Like when I was having an issue with a hospital, my brother was hospitalized. Some of you guys saw that live stream, right? So livid. I was so livid. But they needed to know. They needed to know. There was no way I was leaving that alone. There was no way I was getting quiet on that. That was affecting my brother's mortality. It was affecting his mortality. That I needed to be heard, and I needed to be heard clearly. Clearly. Most other things, I have to ask myself, have you really committed to not understanding me? Is this communication going to result in the two of us better understanding each other? Or is this a case of I'm going to be louder than you so you can know I'm more right than you, and you're taking that same stance, so then it's two fools fighting? What's the point? And when people do that with me, where like they're getting all aggressive in their communication, I'm like, I have to ask myself, do they even want to hear my point of view? Or are they asking me questions to bait me into an exchange so they can find another platform from which to launch yet another attack? Because if that's the case, bitch, I'm out. I don't need to explain shit to you. And the people who are very, very like toxic, they'll be like, see, you know I'm right. That's why you're quiet. No, I'm quiet because you're a fucking idiot and I'm not wasting any more of my time on you. Yeah. Yeah, I said that to my toxic brother. Not the one with the heart problem, the toxic one. I was like, he is like, see, I'm right. No, you're an idiot. Go on with your insecurity. You feel like I'm smarter than you. That's why you're triggered. Go on. Well, then tell me where I'm wrong. The whole thing is fucking wrong. The whole thing is wrong. What part? It's too complex for you to understand. Just keep believing you're right. It's perfectly fine with me. It doesn't matter to me. Just the whole thing is wrong. What part? What part? You had a smartphone. Go on your Google. I had to be like that because I was always his target. I'm always his target. He's always trying to compare and shit. Like, fuck you. I'm done with that shit. I'm just saying. The whole thing is wrong. Okay. So whoever this is, they know. You just it's gonna run its course, okay? Oh, that's why you wanted me to reshuffle. I already knew. You think I didn't know? I already knew. I already knew. I be knowing. I'm fucking psychic. I already knew. Just take a moment. I lost my breath. Wait, hold on. Let me just breathe. Okay. So, card number 13, power of attraction. So, you are attracting to you the very experiences, the very situations that are necessary for you to really push through whatever this period is. Okay. Whatever this period is, you just got to push it through. When the tables turn, girl, I flip that bitch. I embody Jesus the Christ as he enters his Father's house and sees how the people have turned it into a marketplace. And I start flipping those motherfucking tables. There's no table to turn that which is laying on its side. I'm just saying. Have you ever seen that visual? It's just like this is the best visual ever, where Jesus is like pissed the F off because he enters into the temple and he sees like they've desecrated his father's house, and he's like flipping tables and shit, and he has like a whip. Yeah, that's me. There's no table to turn. It's all good. This is not my reading. This is not my reading. So someone's trying to control. Now they're feeling butthurt that you know that they're trying to control. And now you're calling in whatever it is that you need to feel powerful. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. It's just one of those things. You have to allow yourself to go through this process so that you can learn. Okay. Now, learning from this situation means you are learning how to not make the same decisions, choose the same options again later, right? Because people be like, but I already learned this. I don't understand why my soul keeps bringing this. Okay, but baby boo, if you're choosing the same bullshit, your soul's going to keep repeating the test. It's going to keep repeating the test. One of the things I excel at is pattern identification. That's why I'm so good at standing scalar wave repatterning. I can identify and isolate patterning that leads to code expression, which is then transmitted through the DNA into the physiological cell. It also ties into the mitochondria. So I'm good at seeing patterns. All I got to do is get real quiet and just watch. When was the last time you let yourself get real quiet and just watch? What are the patterns? What are the patterns? Because I promise you, you're aware of the patterns that you're living through. You're aware of this person's patterns. If you're not going to stop allowing those patterns to continue, then you're not going to have a different type of life. I know I have subconsciously identified toxic patterns in people when I start asking myself, like, oh, how do I feel about this person? When I start asking my friends or my husband, hey, what do you think about so and so? What do you think about their energy? Now, I don't necessarily ask as much anymore. It's just kind of like, oh, the fact that I want to ask, that's a fucking red flag. That's a huge red flag. Let me just back up a little bit. It doesn't necessarily mean that you got to cut the person out. It just means you need to just back up a little bit and just kind of be quiet. Just observe, just kind of be quiet and make sure that it's not your insecurities that are popping up and being projected. Make sure that you're actually implementing what you learned in the lessons that you've completed. There is no point in learning these lessons through life experience if you are not going to implement what you've learned. Mhm. Right. Mhm. You see that? You need to implement what you've learned. How many of us do that? How many empaths are able to look at this situation and be like, oh, you're acting like the person that I just literally walked away from. Oh, Lord, this is how it started. Oh, no. Let me just back up. Let me just back up and see what the hell is going on here. How many of us do that? No, instead, what we do is, oh my God, why am I so mean? Oh my God, I'm such a bitch. You're a bitch for recognizing patterns. People are like, oh, you have trust issues. It's not a trust issue, it's memory recollection. Yeah. Um, yeah. Yes. Memory recollection. Uh, I remember someone in my life from this life history of mine that behaved just like you. That's how it started. And I lived all the way through that cycle. And this is how it ended. I'm sorry. I'm not going to trust you. That didn't work out very well for me. So, am I saying you're a bad person? No, I'm saying I'm recognizing the patterning. It's looking a little too fucking familiar. I'm going to have to bow out gracefully. Thank you. Thank you for the invitation. I am officially declining. Hmm. So let's go ahead and learn from life. Let's not continue to repeat the same patterns. Let's make different choices. Let's stop villainizing ourselves for finally seeing that we are accurate in our assessment of people's negative, potentiality. It's just a negative potentiality. They can choose not to tap into that negativity. But why do you have to be there to make sure that that's what they choose? You don't. When I recognize someone has such an elevation in the negativity of their potentiality, I'm kind of good off that. Not because they're not good enough for me, not because I'm too good for them, but because I don't want to repeat that. And that's a decision that I've made. And if you can't respect that, you're going to have to be disappointed with me while I'm absent from your life. And that's just that. It's not me wishing you harm or struggle or depletion or any of that at all. At all. Walking away is not me punishing you. It feels like a punishment for people I walk away from. Yes. It feels like a punishment. Am I intending to punish you? No, I'm intending to not allow you to have access to me because I don't want to see how this plays out. I'm going to focus on me and my healing. And then that's just that. May you have an amazing life. I truly hope you do. May you have a life that's full of abundance and love and support. May you feel at home in your life. May you, all of this beautiful stuff, may you have all of that in my absence. Okay? Genuinely, truly mean that. Just because the person I'm dealing with wants me to suffer because I'm not allowing them to access me anymore does not mean I have to mirror that. It doesn't. It doesn't. When you mirror something for so long, you are now increasing the potentiality of becoming the very thing that you're mirroring. Yeah. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that person. So no, I'm not going to mirror that. That's not who I am. That's not how I am. And people have told me for many years that I should just fuck people up. No. Emmie, you're strong. You can totally fuck people up. Like, that's how demons think. Well, no. Yeah, no. You're encouraging me to behave demonically. But Emmie, they fuck with you all the time. Yeah, but I was there allowing access. So I kind of got to take some responsibility for that. If I'm there giving you access to fuck with me, I mean, I'm not really a victim. I'm kind of a participant there, right? But no, it's because they're taking advantage of the fact that you're so nice. Yes, they are. But being the very thing that I don't want to be is not going to help me be more of who I am. I need to take accountability for my decision to continue to allow that access to me. And it's not this thing of, oh, these people are horrible. It's this thing of, this is what my life is teaching me. Thank you for your part in my learning. You can go now. I get it. I get it. You can go now. You don't, no, I don't need any more tutoring. I got this now. I get it. Yeah, on to the next lesson. No, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And just because I should doesn't mean I always will. I have that sovereign right to decide. I don't need to prove I'm more powerful than anyone. I need to prove to myself I am more powerful than my fear based triggers that would cause me to be brutally reactive in the most destructive way. I've done that for too many lifetimes. I don't need to do that in this one. This is a lifetime where I'm cultivating and consistently choosing my peace. That's powerful. It's powerful to be able to harness the type of things that I'm able to harness and not misuse that. It shows my soul is evolving and growing. Do I need to have other human beings who are not cognitive of the processes that I've been through multiple lifetimes? Do I need them to validate this? Do I need them to agree? Do I need them to see, like, in this life, I'm not destroying other people? Like, I've done that in so many lifetimes. I don't need to anymore. Like, I don't need others to give me permission to evolve. Make a choice. Evolve yourself. Not by force, but by flowing. Water that's allowed to simply flow, even in the most gentle way, eventually will wear that rock down. It will erode it. It will cut through the hardest rock naturally, no effort. So be like water. Be like water. Take the shape of whatever environment you're in. And if that environment is toxic, pour yourself out and enter into a new environment. And some people might tell you, like, oh my God, she's encouraging you to abandon people. Honey, it's not abandonment if I was never supposed to be a part of your life long term. And because we don't know how long I'm supposed to be a part of your life, you can't accuse me of abandoning you. With enough patience and perseverance, you can piss a hole through a rock. Love it. Love it. So there was this video that I came across, a video of Lala. I think that's her name. Lala. She used to be like a VJ for MTV. Gorgeous girl, gorgeous girl. And she was talking about expiration dates. Like, people in our lives have expiration dates. Some, the expiration date's way, 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 way down there, right? And then others, that expiration date is very close by, right? And these are things that are predetermined by the souls. The souls that are involved, they're the ones determining this. It's not the humans. When you pay attention to that expiration date, you then have a better idea of how long someone is supposed to be in your life. When they're no longer resonating with you, when they're feeling very like spoiled, you know what I mean? Sour to you. That's probably expired. When you use your discernment, you saw that, Rainbow Flames? When you use your discernment to begin understanding about people's expiration dates, um, thing. She goes on to talk about, like, you didn't leave them behind. You just grew into this new state, new place of being that they couldn't or wouldn't follow you to. Is that abandonment? How selfish. If I can grow to this degree and you're going to shame me into not growing because you can't go there, how selfish. And that's why you're expired. It's not me attacking. It's not me trying to like make you feel badly. It's me stating a fact. That is selfishness. Selfishness. That's like a rose gardener seeing the bud of a peony beginning to open, cutting that bud off. Why? Why would you do that? Well, because that peony was about to blossom and it's going to obscure the beauty of my rose. Like, how would it obscure it? Well, it's such a larger blossom. Okay, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. To cut someone's ability to live in a beautiful way just because you covet that beauty. Selfish. So, am I abandoning you or are you just a selfish person? And these are things you guys have to consider. For the situations that you're in, you have to consider this. They don't want you to grow to that. They don't want you to grow to that. Like, really? Really? That one person that I was talking about, who's like the most recent narcissist that kind of approached me. At first, I was concerned. Like, oh my God, my buddies. Like, oh my God, I need to help. And in that first conversation, it was this like, yeah, and like this person did their eyebrows, and I'm like, that's not you. Wait, what? You have an issue with them having their eyebrows microbladed? That should look good. I was like, but that should look good. It looked good. Okay, hold up. What's really going on? What's really going on? When people can't tolerate that you're growing into your own beauty, that you're choosing to adorn your physical body in a way that you choose. I mean, for real. For real. Are you serious? Like, if I wanted to tattoo my entire effing face, I'm going to tattoo my entire effing face. And if you can't be around me because I tattooed my entire effing face and I feel beautiful with it, that's not really a me problem, is it? That's not really a me problem. Okay? That's not a me problem. That's not a loss. It's not any of that. If it makes me feel beautiful, if it makes me feel more whole to adorn my body in the way that I choose, then it makes me feel more whole. And the question really is, why don't you want me to feel whole? Why don't you want me to feel whole? Because if I feel complete, there might not be space for you. Sounds selfish to me. Sounds very, very selfish to me. Yep. Asking me to choose your happiness and peace over mine is not love. And when people do that, they're never going to be happy. They are not happy people. They are not peaceful people. They're always looking for something to be upset about. They're always looking for something to be upset about. They are. They are. That's the kind of people they are. Now, things, if I do something, say something, whatever, um, whichever, that upsets my husband, he usually won't say anything. He won't say anything because he's like, well, you know what? You're going to choose to be you, and that's just who you are. And that's just kind of how it is. And you know what happens? I'm sensitive to that. And I'm like, I did something. I did something or I said something. Not going to do that again. I'm going to figure out what it is. And I value this man. I'm not going to intentionally upset him again. Not that way, at least. That's okay. I'm not going to do that. His peace is important to me. Just like him trying to tell me how to live, who to be, how to act, or any of that. He knows that's part of my peace and what I need to feel peaceful. And so he's not going to tell me what to do. Except the whole thing about, he tells me all the fucking time that I have to wear a bra. I have to wear a bra if I go out to the store. No, I'm done with fucking bras. I cannot breathe. They're all squished. I'm good. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I will wear several shirts so you don't see my nipplies. But if you're a nasty person and you're looking at women's breasts, you're a nasty person. And that's on you. That's not on me. I really don't care. I really don't care. That's the only thing he keeps telling me. That's the only thing. Like, you gotta wear a bra. No, I cannot breathe. Ladies, do y'all wear bras? I used to always wear a bra. I don't like them anymore. Like, at all. They're fucking crappy. Even the expensive ones are not comfortable. It's just no. No. After a certain size, no matter what you do, the straps dig in. They dig in. They dig into the ribs. They dig in. And crystals, yes. So, see, that's the thing with me. Like, I have enough that if I wear a tank top, I could actually still hide crystals. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I take my, and then I just stick it right there. It's not going anywhere. It's just going to stay right there. I can wiggle around. It's not going anywhere. It's literally still, see, you can see it. It's still, it's not going down. It's not going anywhere. So I don't feel like I have to wear a bra anymore. I just feel like I can still carry my crystals. That was really the only reason I was still participating in the whole bra thing. That was really the only reason. So that I could carry my crystals in my bra. I can still carry them with a tank top on. That's fine. I don't need a bra no more. Yo, let's stop wearing bras. That shit is just, it hurts. It really seriously hurts. And then it like pulls my shoulders down. No, I'm not wearing that shit no more. I don't give a damn. My boobs are happier. Right? Like, no matter what kind of bra you use, when you're past a certain size, they just feel squished. There's no way around it. They feel squished. Yeah, I mean, let me move forward. Card number 6, shock of the new. There's going to be changes, okay? These changes are better aligning your soul's purpose. These changes will help you to better tap into higher potentiality, higher levels of compassion and patience for self. That is the most important self love work you can do, where you are more compassionate with you and your needs, the process that you're in, being patient with yourself, allowing yourself to really, really, really be happy with who you are. Okay. Yeah, I went from wired bras to sports bras to fuck that shit. I'm just saying, fuck that shit. I'm just done. It's just in the past year. I'm done. I also noticed that since I haven't really been wearing a bra, my back muscle hasn't atrophied as fast. You know? It hasn't atrophied as fast. I just wish I had enough to still hold crystals without a bra. So if you have droopage, you could lift the boob and stick it underneath the boob, like lift it. Saying that works too. If you stick it in between, and because I'm very deflated now, it might slide through if it's in the cleavage. But I promise you, my boob just hold on to it. Let me stop for real. Okay, y'all didn't hear it from me. That's just a little secret, it's a little secret. It's between me and you. Don't tell nobody I told you, okay? Don't tell nobody I told you. There's camisoles that have that built-in shelf. That'll work too. But that one tends to hurt my shoulders more because then it's like pulling on the string. It looks like this. I'm like, mm-mm. That hurts. So, new birth guarded vigilantly. This came in reverse. This is telling me that you haven't considered that as you're growing through this period. It's a very difficult one, very challenging. It's more than one person. It's more than one person. It's whoever you're leaving behind and the people they're recruiting to pressure you into not leaving. Don't let that get to your head. Guard your new birth vigilantly. Upside down. In the world, not of the world. For this card, it's almost like this sense of they keep telling you this thing of like you're living in the clouds, like, ooh, shit. They're the ones that's instilling this fear. They're like promoting this internal fear you have of rejection, of wow, that's fucked up. For some, girl, B cup are goals. The B cup is the goal. I cannot wait until mine shrivels up. It's not going to though. It's just going to get more and more deflated. I'm going to have to do boob origami to get it into a bra soon. That's okay. It's okay. It's literally okay. I'm okay with it. I would love to be a B cup. That's like goals right there, for real. Because then you can fit into anything, you know? And there's still enough there where, like some people be like, oh my God, I have less than, and I feel less than. No, you're not less than. Seriously. You know what kind of back problems you're avoiding? Seriously. That's goals. That's amazing. That's a really good size. I'm just saying. That's a really good size. I'd be all perky and shit. Like, oh. Anyways, what I was saying was it's this sense of like, um, whoever these people are, this person, people, um, they claim to love you, but they're really exacerbating this fear of you being rejected by whatever it is you're considering going towards. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Find out for yourself. Find out for yourself um, what you want for you, what you're heading towards, whatever your goal is, whatever, your goal, your end zone, whatever that is, if it's really for you or not by actually trying. Okay. Like, actually try it out. See if it's in alignment. And when you find out that it is not in alignment, if it's not, then at least you know for sure. Instead of living with this, like, oh, what if? Oh, what if not? Oh, what if? Oh, what if not? That's no way to live. Just actually try. Try and I don't know. It's almost a sense of you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Like all of this doubt that's being placed in your head, all of this fear, like they're playing on your fear of rejection. Honey, baby boo, these people who claim to love you, they are low key rejecting you. When they tell you you can't be who you are and you can't have the goals that you have and you can't try the things that you want to try, that's rejection. And they're there sitting telling you you're going to be rejected if you try. What? Try anyways. Try anyways. I am always rooting for the underdog. I'm always like, yep, try it anyways. Make a decision, stick with it, try it anyways. You'll never know until you try. You will never know until you try. And sometimes that fear, especially if you're fearless, that fear could potentially be an indication that you're actually being brought closer to your destiny, to what you were destined to go towards in the first place. You cannot listen to the words of people who don't understand. They're not living your life. They're not in your head as much as they think they know you, as much as you've allowed them to think they know you and know about you. You have kept so much from the surface. They think they're deep down in there with you, and they're not. They're just not. It's like they don't want you to move toward the things they won't move towards. I mean, aside from that, it's also this sense of they don't want you to move towards what they know is really, truly, rightfully for you because they don't compare to it. They just don't compare to it. They pale in comparison, and they've tried so hard to provide whatever that is, and they just can't. It's an ego-based thing. It's definitely an ego-based thing where they know whatever this is, and this is not always happening, okay? This is a very special period that we are in. Whatever this is, it's the start of you holding your actual destiny. And it's not like this mad dash grab type thing. It's you gently holding it in the palm of your hand, knowing that it's not going anywhere. It's there. It's for you. It's like, wow. It's like, wow, wow, that's yours. That life is yours. And all you have to do is go towards it and give it the freedom to blossom, to unfold. Just breathe. Card number 8, be the hunter, not the hunted. Allow yourself to receive. Allow yourself to take proactive steps towards whatever it is that you're wanting, whatever it is that you're needing. Be the hunter, not the hunted. Be the one observing. Be the one that is paying attention and assessing and really, really taking into consideration all the different ways that this can play out. Never hurts to try. You might try and something beautiful might happen. You might try and you might find yourself completely free. You might try and you might see just how powerful you actually are. You might try and you might see that no one can actually take from you what's already rightfully yours. But you won't know any of these things until you actually try. So try. That's all you got to do. Try. People who are toxic. So, okay, let me rewind a little bit. There's this feeling that suddenly popped up in the chest where it's like, but what if I try and I fail and then like I've just messed this up? This is like my security blanket. Let me tell you something. If you try and your security blanket is toxic, if what you try does not pan out, that toxic security blanket will still take you back. It will. Because it's not interested in its dignity. It's not interested in health and balance. No, it'll take you back like, oh, look, finally came back. Damn, I almost lost you that time. They'll take you back. They'll take you back and you can go back to living this very oppressed, very sad, very unfulfilled life. I promise you, if that's the kind of life you're already living, they'll take you back. It'll welcome you back with toxic arms. So really, are you afraid of losing the toxicity or are you afraid of being free? Have you been so programmed to believe that all you deserve is the toxicity of that gilded cage? And now you're afraid. I mean, is that what you're afraid of? As someone who's lived in a gilded cage for a long time, like the first half of my life, I lived in a gilded cage. The cost of my freedom was a vacation in a parking lot. It was the most beautiful experience I've ever had. The most beautiful experience I've ever had. The most peaceful and the most free. And I've just gotten stronger every day since. Do you think I would have been able to achieve this level of sovereign freedom had I not paid that price? I'd pay that price 5 times over. It's no loss to me. That's not a period of my life where I felt like I was deprived or lost. That was a part of my life where I felt so free. I finally understood. I already know how to fly. I was just afraid to admit I actually have wings. So what do you have to lose? That toxic blanket, that's still going to be there. That's how toxic people are. When they don't want to leave their toxicity, they will sit and wait for you to return back to the toxicity because they cannot move forward from it. They just don't. Crazy how such experiences can be so empowering. It shines the light on why and how it's so important to choose me. It's beautiful to become even more stubborn in my decision to listen to myself first. Now my stubbornness is perfectly calibrated. I'm stubborn to the words that keep me confined. I'm no longer stubborn to the knowing that sets me free. You don't have to change. You don't have to become a different person. You just have to allow life to recalibrate you so that you can perfectly, beautifully resonate in the places you were designed to resonate in. That resonance is a powerful thing. And I feel like you're probably getting to a point where there's no longer any resonance. You're looking for a depth of connectivity and you're tired of being in the shallows. You're tired of playing in the tide pools, pretending that they're oceans. There's a depth that welcomes you. Usually it's not spoken. It's something that you just experience, something that you just live in, something that you know is actually home. If you feel like life itself, like you're not actually living, you're probably a deep sea fish. You probably weren't meant to exist in the shallows. So why do you keep choosing that? Because you've been in the shallow for so long? That's beautiful, Catherine. That's beautiful. That's beautiful that you've taken the time to decide, to really consider the ramifications of what you choose, to have no expectations in regards to whatever effects and chosen reactions. I'd say you're healing beautifully. I'd say that you're becoming very, very empowered in your journey. And anyone who tells you that you should do this and do that, and they don't know what you've been through. Just for you. The fact that you're deciding for you, it's powerful. It's powerful. So, upside down, seeing the true you, you don't really see who you are. And the people in your environment, for those that this is resonating with, they're probably not seeing you either. They're probably choosing to see you as who they want you to be. Who do they want you to be? Someone and something that's convenient for their storyline. You are not a supporting character. You are the protagonist of your life. And if someone is forcing you to be their co-star for their movie, one that they wrote, no thank you. You have your own movie to direct. Like, no. No. Nope. No. Allow yourself to finally shine in the way you were designed to shine. Some people say, like, if you're this bright light and you go to a place where it's full of bright lights, you just blend in, you know? So you have to stay here where it's dark so that your light can be bright. You know, I like to think that light bulbs are not so insecure that they can't exist around other light bulbs. You see that there? Exist where you feel like you are at home. Don't let someone who is not even a light bulb try and dictate to you the emotions and the processing of a light bulb. You're not even a light bulb. In the words of the douche-tastic Chris Brown, how are you going to hate from the outside of the club? You can't even get in. Just saying. Yellow model chick, yellow bottle sipping, yellow Lamborghini, yellow top missing. Just don't bother with that shit. Don't let people dictate to you how to feel when they don't know what it's like to be someone so full of depth. They just don't know. They don't know. And I don't know if they don't know because they're not wanting to know, or if they don't know because they're incapable of knowing. Know what I mean? Not a mean? Whew. Follow your own rhythm, and it was in reverse. So, what's so funny, guys? Follow your own rhythm. You're not following your rhythm. You're still letting someone outside of you dictate the beat. You know, they're like, you want them to dictate the beat, but they don't have rhythm. I'm just saying, you know, they don't have the sauce. They're not saucy. I'm just saying, they're not saucy. They don't got the sauce. As someone who has sauce, I'm just saying, you go ahead and you get saucy too. Let all your juices just percolate in the heat of your like passionate fire. Just let it percolate. Let it get real thick and saucy. Whisk in some tapioca starch. You know what I mean? Thicken it up. Make it into a sauce. Okay? Make it into a sauce. See, you're letting someone who, because we're still vibing off like that happy Thursday we did the other week, right? You're letting someone who sees the drippings in the pan that you cook the turkey in, that you bake the turkey in, as nothing but the fat. That's like, ew, that's the drippings. Baby boo, let's make a roux out of it. Listen to the people who know how to make a roux. Okay? Listen to the people who see the value in the drippings of the pan. Baby, I promise you, that's some good sauce. They want to get lost in the sauce, though. Wait, what? um, who wants to get lost in what sauce? I got to make sure that the things that I'm just caught up in my thoughts, and then you write that, and now I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God, what am I saying? Am I encouraging my stalkers to now like get more aggressive in their stalking of me? Like, is this going to end poorly for me? Should I stop? I probably should stop. Trust yourself. I'm going to stop. Trust yourself. Forget the whole analogy about the sauce and stuff. Trust yourself. Make the decisions you need to make and just go with it. I get going. Ooh. Mars and Cancer coming up again. Communicating. Okay, let's see. Let's see where this goes. Thank you for the heads up, Cheaty. All right, let's see. Let us see. Ooh, karmic triggers, destiny and fate. What? Part of fortune increase, card number 45. 4 is the number of self, 5 is the number of change. When you change the self and you allow it to commingle You get 9, which is divinity. So let's see. Okay. Many look upon the part of fortune as moon energy, which means the talents and gifts it endows upon an individual are both nascent and unconscious. It is as if its powers are wading beneath the surface of water, and when the water is stirred by action or thought, those talents and gifts change. They emerge. When the part of fortune card turns up in a reading, it means a time when things begin to flow more easily and you'll have your success. But success and how it will come about and how long it will take will very much depend upon the surrounding cards. Well, Mars is all about kicking down doors and like, fuck you bitches, I'm out. Stir it up. Stir it up. Dun 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 dun. Ooh, darling, stir it up. With your finger. Okay, stop. Okay. 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 You will gain respect and opportunity. You will heartily share what you've gained for yourself with others. Okay, if your question is in regards to romance or any other type of relationship, know that the situation is a fated one. It's meant for both of you to help fulfill each other's calling. This will not be a relationship you can ever move away from easily. You stuck sauce. Uh, so I think this whole like fated relationship does not have to do um with like what you're in right now. I think it's what you're going towards. This will not be a relationship you can ever move away from easily. Destiny is involved, so together you are called to achieve and master higher things that would be more difficult had you not met each other. In this, there will be challenges, even though the love will always remain. So, your destiny is to fly strong at the moment. Any shackles previously placed are being smashed, Hulk smashed, and you're experiencing a release. Moving ahead with this card. Moving ahead is what this card is all about. You got to move ahead. You got to move forward. Ocean lover. You saw my face, right? Goonies. Yeah, no, that I was thinking in my head. So let me just stop. This is like karmic triggers, destiny and fate. That's what this card is about. Oh, someone got you in the crosshairs, or you have someone in the crosshairs. You have a situation, something in the crosshairs. You're focused, laser focused. I'm talking about green light. I'm talking about hollow sun. Hollow suns are badass. I'm telling y'all, hollow sun green dot is bad fucking ass. Is badass. So, yes, you got someone in the hollow sun. Oh my God, are you dealing with an organic portal? A hollow sun. The sun serving as a receptacle for that collective consciousness energy. It's a holding tank, right? And if it's hollow inside, it's emptiness. So that surface energy, that like coronal flares that you see, like, oh, they're so fiery and this and that. It's just a mirroring of your energy. They're pulling your energy. You're not drawn to them, you're drawn to the mirroring of you. Oh, shit. Card number 5, Mars, Force. Ooh, there's about to be a fight. War does not determine who is right, only who is left. I think someone's dealing with an organic portal. Okay. And they get all explosive if they don't get their way. If like, and you hear them repeating the same words that you're saying, like regurgitating information. We just, this suggests there's something you may have to fight for. You might have to fight your way out. You know what I'm saying? You might need some high capacity. Just thought. My husband and I, we were having a little bit of a debate last night, right? We're talking about high capacity magazines. They're not clips, they're magazines. Clips are when you see that like ribbon that the bullet clips into for a machine gun. That's a clip. Magazine is the case that you stick in. So we're talking about high capacity magazines, and I know there's like 40 round magazines, and then there's like 30 and lower and lower and lower. And he was talking about how there were 30 round mags that were pinned to only hold 15 because in that particular state, they don't allow high capacity, which they cut it off at 15, right? You could technically remove the pin and then you still got a 30 round capacity. But here's the thing. This was a debate. Would it be better to have the 40 round magazine or like a 20 round? Because with the 40, you're carrying the weight of 40 FMJs, full metal jacket. That's fucking heavy, yo. That's heavy. But then if you're in a situation like an area of high conflict, that's what gives you the upper hand. The time it takes to reload that mag into your thing, that is time that you are taking away from being able to defend yourself. That's why I don't understand why they're restricting it to that degree. You know why? They removed your ability to, as a law abiding citizen, you pretty much cannot own a fully auto thing. Well, because you can totally like gun something down. I mean, I don't know that we need that, but considering the way things are going, the political climate, oh, I can see why they took it away. It greatly restricts your ability to defend yourself. The weight of your ability must be considered. What type of environment are you in? If it's a high conflict environment, you're going to have to build the stamina to be able to support the weight of your capability to defend yourself. So, how do you do that? You regularly go through the process of holding, carrying the weight as it is. Or you can go for a bullpup. Bullpup, the housing is different. So the balancing of that is a lot different. It's a lot easier to hold. I'm telling you, you still get the benefits of a full length barrel, but because the housing is different, you're wielding it like it's a SB short barrel rifle. You can go close quarters. I'm just saying, you could go close quarters with that. Tavor X95, that's my baby boo. Like urban warfare. That's perfect size for like urban warfare. I believe it's Israeli designed. It's some good shit. It's some good shit. So, okay, getting back on track. Getting back on track. Are you going to try and like become proficient with something that's analogous to a long range rifle? Are you going to try and do a BMG like 50 cal? This shit's fucking this long, and you're going to use that for close quarters? I don't think so. That's not going to work. If your approach is not applicable to the situation you're in, if it's not beneficial, you have to change your approach. I used to have a 45 Glock or a 40 Glock. That shit's bullshit to me. I'm sorry, Queen of Hearts. I just like don't have the wrist strength for that. Y'all, there is no point in you handling a firearm that you cannot handle with accuracy. Because if you're just using, I'm not saying you can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah, I told my husband, because he's like, no, but it has a stopping power. I was like, Yeah, if it hits. But I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to hit what I'm aiming for. So basically, I'm bluffing. So SBR, please. Like, It's like for me, for my wrist, because I have a really weak grip with Ehlers-Danlos low, like my wrists, they dislocate easily. It's too much recoil for me. And then if I'm going to do a less powerful caliber, I mean, what's that going to do? I might as well use a BB gun, a 22. What the fuck's that going to do? And then people are like, oh, you could double tap and get them in the eye and go in the brain. Are you fucking kidding me? Can you do that with a non-moving target? No. Okay, you're not going to do that when they're moving and you're freaked out. That's like not. That's illogical. If if you think that I'm going to let you get close enough for a 22 to actually like do damage, no, I'm not going to let you get that close. I don't think so. So that's not an option. You have to consider your capabilities, the types of restrictions, personal restrictions that you're working within. 9, I do love. Have you guys heard of the Vector? What is it? Something Vector. That one has 0 recoil. And then the Scorpion is really good too. The CZ Scorpion shoots 9 mil, and then you could also use a Glock mag on it. Sweet sauce. I'm just saying, I fuck shit up with that. I can fuck shit up with that. But I don't know. I still like 223. I really like 223. I love 556, but that's a little pricey. Yeah. No, I love 223. The Tavor X95 shoots 223. It's good for up to 300 yards. So like I could do pretty much long range and short range because it sticks out to about this much. It's like I could still do short range with that. I still could. But anyways, card number 5, Mars. So suggested there's something you have to fight for. Mars, it means to push back in terms of defense. It feels like someone's being bullied, to be honest, like ganging up on you. Like, what are you doing? You can't do that. All of us have talked, and we think you're just being crazy and illogical. What? Hmm. What? What? I'm being illogical? Hi, Elko. Hi, baby. Let me stop talking about weaponries. Babies are watching. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. You may either face aggressive situations with a need to confront or defend, or an intense, arousing sexual encounter. This is a time when you feel not only forced but driven. And maybe that's why you're being faced with people in your environment trying to force you into decisions and situations, because that's the very fuel you're going to use to drive away from that. Like, you really don't need that kind of support. That's not a support system. It's just not. It's not a support system, and it's not love. And honestly, to me, it's kind of feeling like the sense of a group of toxic as fuck women. I'm not a woman hater, and I'm definitely not a man hater. I'm a hater of people who are toxic. Actually, I'm not a hater. It just annoys me. Okay. It annoys me when people are toxic like that, where they come together and they discuss you and your life. And because they've discussed your life without you there, they've decided, and you have to comply. Fuck you. No. No. You don't have to do anything someone tells you to do. If it doesn't resonate, don't do it. Oh, I'm sorry. A baby's watching. I'm so sorry. Hi, baby. Okay. My bad. I had a little. Okay. Right now, action is needed. It's not a good time to sit back and wait. You have to put things into action. You have to. You have to. When this card presents itself, you're being challenged to protect your interests and to move ahead quickly. Woo! So interest, financial type of interest. That's what pops up to me, like a financial interest. Do you own a house together? Did you invest in something together? It feels like the faster you move, for some, not for all, okay? It feels like the faster you move on from this, the faster you'll be able to begin your healing. I think you've already debated things for long enough. Whoever I'm talking to right now, you're not one who just this just popped up. This is the first time it's popped up. No, this has been cycles that have been repeating over and over. You've tried and tried and tried. You've been made to feel that if you commit more and more and more, it's all of this is happening because you haven't shown enough commitment. It's always you. They're tripping about something, but it's your fault. I'm not talking to Frey because when I say it's I'm joking. I'm not kidding. I was just kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. So a fire has been lit under the passions, and it's time to achieve what you want in life. Okay. You're being shown a clear path. Okay, so where was I? Oh, turning up this card infers that a fire has been lit under the passions, and it's time to achieve what you want in life. At least you're being shown a clear path. It could be a romantic or sexual in nature, or it could also involve other types of relationships. But more importantly, goals that should be pursued at the current time and as vigorously as possible. It could also indicate a formidable competitor has just arrived on the scene. Ooh, ooh, other people baiting you, being bullied, confronting bullies in the family, defending the position you have earned. Ooh, mm-hmm. Being forthright, pushing ahead, ambition, being number one. Events that roar toward you taking what? Events that roar toward you taking you unaware. Is someone preparing you to is someone preparing to take away what's rightfully yours? I don't know. This is ramping up. This is getting too intense for me. It's stressing me out. For real. It's stressing me out. Like, what's happening to y'all? You need somewhere to go? For real? I really need to open up my soul sanctuary for people who need somewhere to go. This is not right. I need to open that soul sanctuary soon. So people who have nowhere to go, who are hungry for spiritual connection, for whole foods, for actual nutrition, have a place to go to. Anyways, card number 16, Cancer, I feel. Your feelings are your God, the soul is your temple. Ooh, your feelings are your God. So if you're feeling toxic, that's your God, a toxic God. That's what you're worshiping. Toxicity. What the fuck? Rely on the wisdom of what you feel right now. But are you just feeling? Is there no wisdom in that? Is there no wisdom in what you're feeling? Are you what shit? I'm gonna put my on. Sorry. La, la, la. I'm still good. I'm still good. I got a few more minutes. Okay, so um Cancer is a sign of the mother. Those ruled by Cancer tend to be overprotective of their offspring, which means they also like to control and take over. So, are you being treated like a child? Are you being made to feel as though you're incapable of deciding things for yourself because all you do is fuck up? Like, excuse them. They have a rich fantasy life. So they're totally just like making things up in their head as they go. Okay. Let me steer away from that. You can be assured emotions are high. You may want to withdraw, or you may be dealing with someone who's already withdrawn or depressed. There's sensitivity and emotional closeness indicated. Okay, so there's a feeling of being connected to the unseen world. There's a sensitivity and emotional closeness indicated. So you're feeling a sensitivity and a closeness to something that's not in the physical reality right now. This is an energy that's drawing you in. Oh. Michael says, here. Power of attraction. It's drawing you in. That energy, that resonance is drawing you in. If your question is about love, it may be a secret or involve bonded souls, as with a mother and a child. This card could also mean that family or domestic issues need to be addressed. Mhm. A mother or maternal figure is also indicated by this card. Women may figure prominently, women's issues and how women get along. See what I'm saying? It reeks of toxic women. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. I know you all know what I'm talking about. Where certain type of women come together and they and then they've decided how you're going to live. Because you don't know any better. You always mess up. You always this, you always that. They need cognitive behavioral therapy. That group needs cognitive behavioral therapy. Look, all these faces behind the one. All the faces behind the one. Know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. It's like they all want to be your mother. Here's my logic. Unless I traversed your vaginal canal, you're going to need to step the F back and shut the F up. Because my own mother, who birthed me, could not tell me what to do. So you're not going to. I promise you. This is my home planet. This is my soul planet. I got a lot of fight in me. I'm very stubborn and very spicy. I'm spicy. Yo no soy marinero. Yo soy capitan. All right? You can La Bamba the fuck out my face. Yo no soy marinero. Soy capitan. You need to get off my ship. You need to get off my ship. That's just the bottom line of it. You need to get off my ship so I can transport my spiciness to peaceful waters. Okay? Okay. Get off my fucking ship. No mutiny here. There is not going to be any mutiny here. Know what I'm saying? I will not tolerate mutiny. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Sir. Para bailar la bamba. Para bailar la bamba se necesita y arriba. Ba, ba, bamba. Bamba, la, ba, da, ba, bamba. Bum, 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 bum. This man is now playing with his scorpion. Oh, shit. Is that a new muzzle? You don't know. Is that like a Gemini? I don't know. Or is that like a human being? I don't know. Okay. Um, I don't know if I like the brace. I don't know that I like the brace. It reminds me of the micro Roni.
Yeah, that's why it's a brace.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can have them to have people.
Oh, if you do that,
Yeah, you have to.
I don't have to do
You,
shit
you,
but be constitutional and die. Sorry. You talking about guns or dicks? Moonrock.
sure.
Don't. You're
Just the,
gonna get me.
just the tip.
Don't.
Just
Just the
the,
tip. All right, come on. Just the tip.
just the tip.
Get that shit out of here. Moonrock. Am I influencing you like that? I am so sorry. I will behave myself. Okay. My mind is blown. I feel like semi proud, but also semi like, oh my God, what have I done to you? Card number 39. Air element, communicating. All actions result from thoughts. So it is thoughts that matter. You know, live chat is definitely on fire. You said scorpion, and I thought dick. Oh my God, it's a type of gun. Oh my God. You guys, not everything. 99.9% of what I say is not sexual. People just think I'm super sexual and stuff. I'm Pisces. Everything I say sounds sexual, but it's not. I promise you. Hold on. Oh my God. No. This is what it is. It's not a penis. This is a scorpion. Oh my God. Why do I need to change to not seem so sexual? Like I was thinking last night, like one day I was talking about like brushing my tongue, like tongue scraping and gagging, and then I realized, oh my God, people are thinking I'm talking about something else. I'm really truly innocent. It just sounds like that. It's not really like that. It just comes out like that. I talk to furniture this way, you guys. I'm not flirting. I promise you. I promise you. Think it over first. Put some mental effort into it before you put your talk into action. Be logical. Sort it out. I'm trying to sort it out. When this card presents itself in a reading, it's time to put into words what you want, what you desire, and what you expect. The good news is some issues you've been working on at the current time and possibly from the past are now being resolved. You're able to face them without pretense, but most importantly, with honesty. Air is all about being quick on your toes, how curious you are, and how ingenious. Air also gives us the power to apply our energies in diverse ways. It's all about being spontaneous in the moment and landing on your feet, and where you're able to approach things with precision and sharpness. Okay. When you question it, wait, air signs look young. So this card is all about feeling young, looking at things anew, having energy, and being young. When your question is about relationships or romance, someone may not be willing to commit as much as the other at this time. It is possible that they are embarrassed or not as comfortable about sharing emotions as the other. Oh, is that you? You're not you're not comfortable like talking about your emotions and stuff. That's okay. That's okay. Ideally, this card indicates the powers of manifestation, the magic of mind and thought, bringing ideas into being. What you think might be can happen, so guard how you think and be especially careful as to the words you choose. To spell a word, that is to say a word, is to cast a spell. The ancients knew that words held magic within them, so do thoughts. If nothing else, the air element card indicates that your mind and words have power, so use them well. Use them with intent. Bring into being what it is you really actually want. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. I feel like you're going to do that already. I feel like you've already said the things that you need to say out loud to yourself. I feel like you've had conversations between self and between soul. I feel like you've made up your mind on something. I feel like you've made up your mind on something, and it's really just a matter of letting things play out and seeing the type of freedom that you begin to recover because of how you've allowed things to play out without forcing too much or rushing too much, knowing that everything you do, everything, every action, every thought, every plan, it's something that's perfectly aligned for what you're going to do. Um, I don't know what that is. What I wanna know is why is Cody's mom on the side of Michael? Like, only Michael stands on this side. Woman, why are you never on this side? She's never on this side. It's almost like it's almost like Michael prevents me from pushing her out, like face palming her out, like yeah. Huh. I don't know. I don't know. But final words come from Cody's mother. You've made a decision long ago. It's time to put your action, your energy into that action because the life that's worthy of you is waiting to be lived by you. I know okay, I'm going to be honest, I was considering face palming her out of my field. I don't like to be disrespectful to people's mothers, but I kind of just like woman, woman, woman. You won't even tell me your fucking name. Woman, I don't know that I want you here because you won't even tell me your name. And then I considered face palming her out of the field. And then Michael's hand went up to block it. His hand went up like, nope, not this one. So your life, as is worthy of you, is waiting for you to live it. It's going to take the letting go of where you're anchored at because where you're anchored, it lacks the capability of allowing you the permission, the freedom, and the space to rise as high as you're supposed to. And that's why you have to let it go. You know, that's why you have to let it go. I didn't face palm her. I only considered it. And as soon as my hand went up like this, in my mind, he's like, he blocked it. I didn't actually touch her. I didn't even get to try. You know, I just was the thought like, should I try it? And yeah, I'm glad I didn't either, because then that would be messed up. I would feel really bad. I'd probably start crying. I gotta get going. I don't think I'm going live later for expedites. I'm pretty sure I'm not. So I will be doing expedites on the 4th. That's gonna be the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse. So, you know, join me then. Join me then. December 4th, if you would like to purchase an expedited request, energy work, whatever it is, for that fire ceremony, it's going to be using dragon fire. Then you go to my website, you could see it on the home page, pick what you want, and then we do it in the order that the invoice is received. Okay. So I'll see you guys again. I might go live later on this afternoon to do a Blu-ray reading, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll see you guys again soon. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I'll see y'all very, very soon. Everyone, say goodbye to Cody's mother. She's waiting. I kind of like her, but I kind of like, I don't know who you are. You know, if you would show me your face, I'd probably like you more. I'm going to go. Bye, everyone.